Good evening, dear fellow traders, YouTube friends. It's not really a good evening to me, but yeah, what do I say? And this video could be a long one, maybe 40 to 50 minutes, and I hope that you will stay that long and listen to every words to get everything what I'm about to say till the end of this video. And I'll be talking a lot of controversial things for other people, and especially to the group of people like me, Seventh-day Adventist Christians. Others might don't agree, but I don't have any problem with them. This is my kind of stand right now. And you know what, this is my second video, and I have uploaded my first one, and probably there are things that are quite similar, but I'd like to be complete in what I'm about to say here in everything. To tell you frankly, I am suffering depression, and this depression does not started during my years here in Thailand. Actually, I've been here in Thailand for 10 years, but this depression that I bag since I was in Philippines, and I brought it here with me. And then year after year, things has just been added and added. Yeah, and probably there's somewhat relatedness to what I'm doing right now in forex trading, but I'd like to start this. When I was in high school back in 2001 to 2005, I did a little bit better in the class, but some extracurricular activities I was out because, yeah, maybe I have to sidetrack a little bit. Back in my elementary years, I was bullied, but I fight back. When I was in my academy years, 2001 to 2005, I could not fight back because they're bigger and there are a lot of them. And I'm alone because that school is a boarding school. It's away from the residence of my parents. All the students, around 50% of this student population in that academy are boarding students, and the other half are commuters, so they live nearby and they choose to study in the academy. I cannot name the academy, but those who have known me in my academy years, so they knew it. And then I was bullied, and I don't know what to do. But then I graduated in my academy years. My father was expecting me to be the valedictorian, but I was down to 3. I was on the 3rd place during my graduation. And then I don't know what to do, where to go after my graduation in high school. And since I was in elementary, I was dreaming to become an engineer, but we don't have money. And I told my dad, my papa, that I'm going to study law and then I'll work for myself. And he said, a lot of lawyers here are being shot and murdered because of politics and other related stuffs. They have a lot of rebels back then in my place, Davao Oriental, and I think until now. And one day there was somebody who came into school and approached me to have some student summer program, which is we're selling books, literatures, so that we can have a scholarship if we have big sales by the end of the summer. And that was an unfortunate summer for me because my comrade, my colleague, when we do the canvassing work, the student literature program in Nati City, was stupid as well. So two of us stupid are going everywhere. So I didn't make any sale. And then our leader, that's someone who came to the academy, convinced me to accompany with him and probably just visit the college institution of the Seventh-day Adventists in Matanao, Davao del Sur. I didn't have money with me. I only have the fare to travel with them, to pay to buy a ticket for the bus. But when I arrived there, I was asked by them to enroll like them, and I don't have money. So there was a little bit discussion, and then I got enrolled, pre-enrolled. And to make it short, so I told my parents that I have enrolled already, and I took Bachelor of Arts in Theology. When you graduate Bachelor of Arts in Theology degree, then you're preparing yourself to become a pastor. So that's my degree that I have finished in my college years. But I have not worked with that profession until now. It's been 12 years after my graduation. And when so my mom and my father was in trouble. And tell you what, when I was in my high school years, my father was already suffered some lymphoma, something like both of his neck on the left and the right side. But due to he was exposed with chemicals, as we have our little farm, but we didn't have any good crops that we can bring to the markets and sell. So that was a hard life. When I was still in the academy, I took special exams in which my points were already deducted, so much more I cannot catch up with the salutatorian and the valedictorian. So I have this a little bit depression, but not really that much, because I was in my 18 years old, around 18 to 19, around 17, 18 years of age, so not that much. Teenage boy. But when I was in the college, within my 4 years of study, I did not have any working experience as a working student in the college. I studied full time because my second semester in the college, I got an academic scholarship because the administration have reviewed my grades from my first semester, and I was qualified to have some scholarship. And it was a difficult thing because my father was suffering already from that cancer, and he doesn't want to go to the hospital because he said it's a lot of money we need, and we don't have that. We have a boy studying in the college, and I was even blamed by my uncles, the Muslim side of my father. But my father was a Seventh-day Adventist from Muslim family by blood. And then I was blamed, and of course I did not stop. I continued studying there. I tried to do anything that I can make money there after school, but several occasions that I have this 5 to 6 meals consecutive that I could not eat anything but just drink potable water from the faucets. I could not buy that expensive one in the store, and it's really hard. And I can only eat food, especially if some of my colleagues, they have some problem with the paperwork, the term papers, the thesis, and all these things. So I can come and then I can help with their problem, their homework in exchange for a meal. And that's really hard. Until by 2006, I was in my second year. My father was diagnosed that he has a cancer because my mother pushed him to go with her to the hospital. We didn't have money. I was in the student summer program again. So I borrowed money and then just sent to my father and help them to have to be in the hospital for the hospital bill. And I went back to college after that summer program, devastated because my father has a tanning already that he can live up to 6 months. And I was counting that maybe he cannot attend my graduation day. I'll be graduated by the year 2009, and that was 2006. In the summer of 2009. So, March 30, 2008, my father died. I was in the field with my field study. That was my junior year in the college, 1 year after my father died. So he was able to extend his life from the tanning of 6 months to another 6 months extension. And I was devastated. I cannot accept the fact. I prayed to God. I said to God, Lord, I agree because I have some convincing words from the mouth of the people around that it will be good for me to be a pastor, because since I was in my 6th grade, I started preaching in the pulpit, and I was even matriculated during my academy years for 4 years. And then when I stepped in the college, so much more that I grew massively in that field. And much more to that, the admin of the college have chosen me, a freshman, being recommended to be a student church pastor in Bengal English International Church in Davao City. So I was chosen instead of the graduating theology students at the time, back in 2005, during my freshman year in the college. So I grew in that field, but then a lot of bullies as well when I was in the college back then, but I never take it seriously because I was so focused in my study, and I have an academic scholarship that I have to maintain a grade of above 90 each subject. But in my first semester, I got C+, and that grade of 85 prevented me to get the magna cum laude award during my graduation in 2009. And that was Filipino 1, Panitikan ng Pilipinas. And I was so angry. I talked to my teacher. I'll try to talk to her that I can make a project so that she can change my grade. But she didn't agree. So I have so many disappointments in the college. And besides my academy years, I have some disappointments there. But I never thought that these depressing days will come back again, mixed with the new set of depressions that I have right now. And that lead me to think of committing suicide. I don't know what to do. And things get worse when my sponsor from America decided that she's going to stop her support in my food allowance and housing allowance because I live outside. Too expensive if I live inside the campus of the college. But if I live outside, I have some many options that I can find. Those ugly apartments, at least it's very cheap, and I can do other survival instinct there. But in the campus, you are controlled. You cannot make money there because you stay inside the campus, and the food in cafeteria is very expensive, like four, five, six times bigger the price than the outside. So that is why a lot of students, especially from the poor family, have to live outside. We call it village. So I stayed there, and then the last semester in my senior year, the sponsor decided that she's going to cut her support to my food allowances, and that devastated me. I said to myself, my father just died last year, and now sponsor is going to leave me behind. What I'm going to do? And I only have like the tuition fees are covered by my academic scholarship, but there are other expenses that I cannot get from any scholarship, but I have to depend on the one supporting me from the outside. And now my mother was also working as a domestic helper in a certain family, Seventh-day Adventist, but what is 500, 1,000 peso a month? So, but even that, my mother has to send me 50, 100 pesos a week. So at least it can help me a little bit in my final semester in the college. And I was so discouraged, and I started believing God. I did not believe in God anymore. I stopped believing God. I was the chairman of the consecration service of the Friday evening. That is consecration service for that is the first set of marching for the graduates for the Seventh-day Adventist institution. I was the chairman back then of the program, and I was not able to work out with my task, and we have a little bit trouble with the participants during the program that Friday evening, because I decided I will not march. But a loving professor of mine, that I considered him as my father figure in the campus back then, a solid and a brilliant professor. Now he's in AUP-IS Manila, who have helped me that I can march. But even that, I did not believe in God anymore. But because he told me 10,000 pesos are being paid to your account, so that you can only find another means to pay the balance, and in exchange you have to work as a lay worker in the summer. 2 weeks after the graduation, I have to report to the field to work with the field schooler and go with them and be a Bible worker. And I said to myself, this is really challenging. I just decided myself that I quit in ministry and I will not believe in God, and now I'm going to ask to work as a lay worker in exchange for the 10,000 pesos. But actually, the usual payment will be only 5,000 pesos maximum. But my loving professor doubled the amount so that it can really help me to march, because around 15,000 pesos is beyond my capacity to pay. I already asked my uncles, those who blame me, and the other side of my family, that's my mother's side, and we could not find anyone where we can borrow and then pay later on. So I marched, I graduated, I got my honors, I got my award during graduation by Sunday. And I reported to the field to work as a Bible worker. But my frustration and my depression started right there, that I did not believe in God. And to add to insult to injury, All of my friends did not believe that I was at my lowest point in life that time. They would just chuckle and then say, Philmar is a strong man. Because they knew me for 4 years of being together in different situations. I've been through hell, different difficulties, different hardships in life. My father just died, and they could see me in my demeanor that I'm okay, but deep inside, I was in pain. I get bullied, and I was like normal. I did not react any negativities. I responded in a nice way, but they don't know that I just keep on collecting these depressions. Even myself, I did not realize that that was really dangerous. And then the kind of disappointment and depression that I have, March 2009 was still fresh when I was reporting in the field by April of that year. And I worked there for 2 months. We have baptism. I was able to get Bible study with the whole family from Iglesia Ni Cristo. This kind of group in the Philippines, you could hardly convince them to transfer to another religion, to another denomination, because the brainwashing and the indoctrination is really, really, really extreme. But the whole family decided that they're going to be an Adventist. And I'm happy that the product of that work, 2 of his daughters was motivated by my inspirational stories and motivation to them. And 2 of his daughters went to the college that I graduated. Just imagine that. The disappointments and the depression was still fresh back in March, a month ago. And that, after that month, that was April, that I met this whole family. I have all these beautiful stories. And yeah, probably if somebody from my colleague have they accompanied me that time, they could not believe, oh, this was Philmar who never believed in God back in a month ago, and now what I'm going to do. I have a job that needs to be done. I was told to accomplish something because it was already paid in the college. My compensation was already paid there in advance. But that time I asked God, Lord, forgive me. This is my healing time. I need to be isolated from medias. Anyway, Facebook that time is not really that popular back then, that year. 2009, I didn't have my Facebook account yet. I don't know YouTube yet. I only knew a bit about Friendster. But what I was really good is the search engine, the Google and the Yahoo, and because I kept searching sponsors to help the kind of ministry that I was doing there. I was in the mountain with the natives, and yeah, it's a mix of different kind of tribes and people from the cities who chose to live in the mountains. And I said to myself, this is a good thing that I'll be healing myself here from the frustrations and the depressions that I have in the past back in high school, and much more that fresh one that I have a month ago. And by the end of May, I got my stipend from the donations of the brethren, the small church that I was working with. And then suddenly one of my colleagues, I have to mention his name, he is now an ordained minister in Northern Davao Mission, India, the new established one in Tagum, Davao de Oro. Mindanao. And he said to me, Fem, I think I need your help. Can you help Jerry Ubamin because he's planning to fly to Thailand with his girlfriend and he might be losing the direction? Oh, I said, yeah, really? I'm planning to go to other country too if I have an opportunity. And now you worry about him going to Thailand. It will be a good opportunity, but he said he might be losing the track. He's a theology graduate. Okay, so what's the problem? I want you to work with him. There's a work in Davao, and you have to accompany him, encourage him, and motivate him, and that he might not lose the track, the direction that we are supposed to. So you can go and talk to him. He said, oh, Kuya, you know what? Kuya is a dialect in my country, big brother. Big brother, you know what? You know my situation back in a month ago, that I'm suffering this depression, that I stopped believing in God. I'm still healing myself here. That is why I chose to isolate myself here in the mountains, working with the brethren, the people here. I don't want to go to the internet shop. I just want to, yeah, to have meditation and evaluate myself. I need to see the rational side of myself. He said, it's okay. Just imagine that. These guys are the ones who did not believe me that I was at my lowest point in life back in January, February, March of that year. And that time that he called me again, that I was trying to heal myself in an isolated place in Kidapawan City, Lapan Piris, Kidapawan City. That was just a month ago. And he called me and asked for a help, that there is somebody that needs to be rescued. One of our colleagues. Actually, he was a magna cum laude. That one that I'm going to rescue was a magna cum laude because he didn't get any C+. He was really good at the minor subjects. But these guys only have average scores in our major subjects. In my colleague, I'm not bragging here, but according to what is being reflected in our transcript of records in my batch, I am the one who get the highest grades in our major subjects, theology, but because they're really good in the minor ones and they're really good in making friends with the teachers, in which I don't, because it's not my attitude to bribe somebody in order for me to get a special attention. My kind of type of a person is that based on the progress, based on your potential, based on your hard work and how you behave, how you work it out to achieve a good score in different subjects, but bribing a teacher so that you'll have a special attention, it's not my thing. Though that would be the kind of thing that they have. I cannot blame them. So with that, back to the story. I was called to help, and I called my mom. I said, what I'm going to help, or what I'm going to do. My mom responded, it's up to you. I worry about you, but maybe you can make it. But you know what, YouTube friends, dear fellow traders, the time that was made that I was called by Raul Imnasi, I decided myself that I have to heal here for a year. And I can save up a little bit of money, and then I can fly to Manila to study my master's degree in systematic theology and world mission, to PhD's degree in systematic theology and world mission. That was my aim, and I was 22 years of age, so I was expecting that at the age of 30 I will have my PhD in systematic theology and world mission, and it didn't happen. Because when I was decided and that I will rescue that guy, he was happy because, but you know what? This big brother Raul Imnasi who called me to help somebody, and this Jerry Bamin that I helped now is a chaplain in Adventist Hospital in Davao City. These two guys are the best of friends back in their local place in San Ignacio, Davao Oriental. And I have known these guys when during the summer program, and then another 4 years for 2 months, and another 4 years in the college because we were classmates in all the subjects until we finished together. But these two guys, they're not struggling. They have some other means that they were able to really have a good life in their campus. I have to mention to you again that many times that I could not eat, and there is a final examination by tomorrow. I didn't have lunch yesterday, and then supper, dinner, and then breakfast by tomorrow morning, and I have to face my final examination for the whole day with 5 major subjects and a 90 grade, above 90 grade to maintain each subject. And with the rest of the depressions that I have at the back of my brain, and my mom suffered some kind of mistreatment with the family, that she's working as a domestic helper, as a maid, housemaid, and it's not an easy experience. And these things are keep banging on my ears. And you know what? I decided. I went there in Davao City. We worked together with the guy that I rescued, only to find it out that we were sleeping for more than a month in the pig pen in Bangkiruhan, Davao City. Why? Because the one who bragged to Raul Imnasi that there was a job was just a lay worker like us. He was not the coordinator of that certain ministry. And then now he's trying to make excuses. And I was already in Davao City. I already told the brethren in Kidapawan City that I have to go and rescue somebody. I cannot go back there. What kind of face I have to face with him? So with that, another challenges. Yeah. And I live with street guys in that area, and I've learned a little bit how to play billiard. Just imagine that. That was not the kind of outcome I was expecting, because there was a work, as Raul said, and then it wasn't. And it took us more than like around 2 months of waiting, and suddenly the original coordinator, the real coordinator of that ministry, have communicated us and asked both of us to report, and then we started our work as a lay worker. And after 5 months of working, we transferred to another place. Another pastor, senior pastor, have asked us to help a kind of crusade for 5 months. And after that 5 months, all in all 10 months, I was not able to save any pennies, because I have to cater the need of my colleague, and I spend everything. And until such time that we were done in that last crusade in Toril, Bayabas Toril Church, Davao City, and we don't know where to go. And I said, probably I need to get back to Kidapawan City, only to find it out that this friend of mine, actually until now, I consider them friends, but I cannot trust them anymore. I cannot trust them anymore. And he said, I have already agreed with one family that we are going to stay with them in their house. We're free with food and rental. And I said to him, why you just agreed with yourself? Why you did not tell me so that we can discuss together first if I'm okay or not? Because if we live with family, so it's up to you, because you can go there. I told him, you can go there. I have no problem. You can go there because you're the one who agreed with the family. But actually, that family was looking for me, because several times that I was the one preaching in the divine service and some bigger events in the church. And this guy that I'm helping is probably good at exams, but in terms of, I'm not belittling him, he's a magna cum laude, but yeah, in theory, I think he's a little bit better with the minor subjects. In major subjects, it's not also really that good. He was just lucky that his GPA is a little bit bigger and was able to qualify to be a magna cum laude. So with that, that guy agreed, and I said to him, you can go there. I can find another place, or I can go back to Kidapawan City. And he said, no, we have to go. Two of us need to go together, because that was the final word. I have told him that two of us will stay in their house. He said, oh, you have already, seems like you do the decision and I would just agree anything. And I said, oh, it is me who rescued you, and now you're trying to disregard my decision. I said, this is not really good. And you know what, dear fellow traders, when we arrive in the house of that family that he agreed on that we can live with him, there was this impostor pastor, Nestor Tumimbang, have asked our presence, and he introduced his networking business. I forgot the name of that company. Coffee Wellness Limited. I think Coffee Wellness Unlimited Limited. I forgot that. But anyway, if somebody can watch this video and probably have heard that networking business, what he did, most of his clients, he would do some deceitful way of telling them that you have to get this whole package. You can be a stackist or a business center, blah blah blah. And then a lot of teachers have sell their houses and properties and invested 200,000-300,000 to be a stackist, a business center. And later on, all what they get are the boxes of coffees. And I was introduced there. Two of us. And now this Joy, who agreed to that Adventist family that we're going to live in the house, is pushing me to listen to that lecture. That's supposed to be, it's not my business. In the first place, I'm not the one agreeing that I will stay here. You just forced me to go with you. I did not even know that there was already a discussion, something like that, blah, blah, blah. And only to find it out that it was me who invested, because out of politeness and how to say the one, courtesy, that we will be living with him. So okay, I'll pay 4,500. It's a 1 month salary for 3 heads of that fucking networking. MLM is a Ponzi scheme. You recruit somebody and you make money from a percentage of that registration money from the new recruits. 70% will go to the company and 30% will be divided as a commission to pay for those hardworking uplines who are recruiting members to join in. That is how Ponzi scheme works. That is how Ponzi scheme plays. And even nowadays, we have revenue sharing, Kapal, Mamico, the new ones. I'll be talking that one as well later on. And with that, I find myself working as a networker because I cannot go as if I was like place a chain on my nose that I cannot get away. I cannot go away anymore, but I have to follow that Mr. Tumimbang. And then another networking company being introduced, Trigo World later on, and I was asked to be the lecturer, and we went to different places. And I was told that the whole Kidapawan city is under me. I'm the upline there, but actually it was not a direct referral to me. So the one who is the direct sponsor is making a lot of money. So my account was just like a dummy one, though the whole Kidapawan city is under me, but I'm not making money because they're not my direct referral. The one who is their direct sponsor is above me. Supposed to be, I should be the direct sponsor so that I can make money from Kidapawan city. And all throughout from 2000, like partly 2009 to whole 2010, I've been in the networking business, providing lectures about the scheme, about the point system of the company, the products and everything. But tell you what, I did not make any dime. Instead, I lose a lot of money from my stipend because I got a sponsor from US. So that's why I did Bible study. And that money kept coming even I'm not working anymore as a Bible worker, but I just volunteer myself to handle any programs in the Sabbath to whenever a church that we can visit. But I keep losing a lot. But this is the thing. I have sensed already that networking is not really good because you have to push somebody to join and sell properties, cars, houses, or lands, or whatever, borrowed money, loan money, so that they can join. But after they join the company, if they cannot recruit bigger recruits, they cannot make money as well. So you have to push them to find another prospect and recruit them so that they can make money too. And this is the problem. Most of the uplines, instead of placing those new recruits to their downline as a direct sponsor, they will place it to themselves. So that downline that they have encouraged to become a millionaire will not make any money because the money will go directly to them. So that is what happened to me. And this joinery guy started to give way and went back to church and apply as an associate pastor. And I said to myself, this guy that I have rescued now put me into hell, and now he's trying to escape and not even helping me out right here. That's the depression really sink in. And the past years of me in my high school down to my college years and until that moment, those things were added together, and I was so angry, but I cannot make any angry word to him because he's my friend. I cannot talk bad words to Big Brother Raul Inasi because I also considered him as my father, my uncle. I took all the depressions, I took all the frustrations, I took everything to me personally. And I have nobody to talk to about this problem. And I thought these depressions were already buried down at the back side of my brain. But when I fly to Thailand, because I said, the only solution that I can be healed is that I have to fly to Thailand. So by April 12, 2011, I fly to Thailand, right here. But before that, I already communicated somebody to pick me up in the airport. Also a theology graduate and also a friend of mine, not really that close when I was in the college campus, but he was the leader of the publishing ministries as well, assistant publishing director, in the name of Danilo Lastimado. And I was the one even paying all our fare from the airport, taxes. I don't care about that because he's the one inviting me, even though there were lapses about his invitation because he could not send the original copy of the invitation letter but the photocopy alone, and it will not be accepted in the immigration. But the good thing was I was never asked by the immigration officer of anything, because in my departure card I wrote there, adopt a minister international. So no questions asked. So ministers and pastors can do a lot of fraudulent activities. Priests, because they are considered as the religious leaders in the church, so they will not do any harm. But actually, these are the guys, some of the guys, not all. There are good ministers, there are good priests, there are good leaders in the church, but most of these guys are. Should be careful. But not all. But there are. And so I came here in Thailand. And my first day from the Suvarnabhumi airport, we traveled by early morning by bus here in Chantaburi, where I am currently living right now. I've been here for more than 10 years. April 12, 2011. And I said, Kuya, what, I'm a big brother. Where should I stay? And he said, you have to stay here in the church. But let me go back a little bit. Before I came here in Thailand, there was already a communication between me and the president and the executive secretary of Thailand Adventist Mission, Nipit Pon, and the president was Chan Chai. I already emailed them that I'll be applying here in Thailand as a missionary because I want to get out all of those depressions in the Philippines, so I need to have a brand new of myself here in Thailand as a missionary in another country, a foreign country, to heal myself and to forget everything, to forget all the depressions with Raul and Ignasi and Joyery and the rest of them, because I want to forget everyone, to forget every pains, to forget every disappointments that I have. Tell you what, when I arrived in Canterbury, the first Sabbath that I arrived here Thursday, Wednesday, dawn at the airport, and we arrived in Canterbury because it is around 250 kilometers away from the airport, from Bangkok. We arrived here around afternoon on Wednesday, and by Thursday I visited with some Filipino friends of Lastimado. And the first welcome that I got from the Adventist Filipino community here in Canterbury, not the new ones, but those I have met back in April 2011, those Filipinos that I met back in April 2011, most of them, like I was already bullied in my elementary years, in my high school years, and even sometimes in my college years. And I'm already a professional. I already graduated. That's why I'm here in Thailand, to heal myself, to apply as a missionary. And with the puzzled look and the kind of treatment that I have smelled on, that I have seen in my first few Sabbaths with these guys, because we have church worship on Saturday, the kind of treatment I got, I said, Lord, I tried to get away all the depressions that I have in my country, Philippines, and I'm here to be a missionary. But why these people are not friendly? And then 2 weeks after, the mission officers, Thailand Adventist mission officers, Chanchai and Ipitpon visit Canterbury because they have medical mission. And I was there, and I asked who is Pastor Nipitpon, who is Chansai, Pastor Chansai. He has a doctorate now, and he's in the Hmong community in USA because he was demoted in the last constituency. And I asked, and they have told me that this is Nipitpon, this is Chansai, and I keep asking them, Pastor, have you read my last email that I'm already here in Thailand, ready to work as a Bible missionary? Yeah, here in Canterbury or any locality that you want me to send there and work with the locals. Already, just imagine the one in a matter of 2 weeks. I started reading and understanding their language. I can read, can write a little bit, because that enthusiasm and the courage that I can start working as a missionary is really flaming inside me. And I said, this is the kind of healing I need. I frustrate God. I was discouraged. I stopped believing in Him, and this is the time that I can pay Him back. But tell you what, Chansai and Nipitpon, these two officers, high-ranking officers in Thailand Adventist Mission, just told me all the time, I'll see you around, I'll see you around. And just imagine that. There was like, maybe they came here in Canterbury for 3 times. And the second time they came around, I asked them again, Pastor, how about my application as a missionary? How about my application as a missionary? For the 3rd time, they just told me all the time, I'll see you around, I'll see you around, I'll see you around, I'll see you around. And that was frustrating. And later on, there was a guy, I can mention his name here, this is my vlog, but he's now turning 60 years old a few years from now, and he will not be accepted as a teacher in Thailand. So it will be a devastating story for him because he's not changing. He has a bad mouth and an attitude, and he's getting old, but his brain is lower than a baby. Joseph Ferrarin. This guy was introduced by someone that probably I can ask help. And I was like 3-4 days older from the Philippines. That was the month of April 16, somewhere 16 or April 17, 2011. I called him. I said, sir, this is Fulmer Magtawan. In a humble way, in a polite way, somebody have told me that you have helped a lot of Filipinos here in Canterbury. So can you help me that I can find work, because I have already asked the Thailand Adventist Mission officer, the president and executive secretary, that I will work as a Bible worker, as a missionary, but They just rejected me all around for 3 times already. They're coming in Canterbury, and I asked him, and he said, "Oh," with and with an angry voice, he responded, "I cannot help you. Who are you?" I said, "Sir, I already met you. We have already shake hands on last Saturday in our worship. And I was the speaker in the divine worship. So, no Filipino that can help you here. There's no one." With an angry voice, just imagine, with an angry, arrogant voice, "Nobody can help you here. If a school director will ask you if you have a friend here, a Filipino friend in Canterbury, tell them you don't have any Filipino friend." Just imagine that. That Joseph Ferrarin. I think he has social media. If you're interested to see that guy, you can go there. Find his name, Joseph Ferrarin. And until now, I'm planting rainbows because I'm really angry to that guy. And you know what? I was devastated. I said, these guys don't know what's going on with me personally. I was rejected by the Thailand Adventist mission officers about my application as a Bible worker, as a missionary. And the Adventist Filipino here are also not helpful. Then who will help me? So a Thai humble pastor have told me, "Filmar, I can go with you. We will find school and we will apply. You will send resume and we will wait if they will respond in a call or an email." Tell you what, dear fellow traders, YouTube friends, a thick like this, more than 2 inches of resumes and CVs that I have printed and sent to different schools in Canterbury province and Rayong province. And thank God, nobody responded. Not even one. That was a sad thing. That was a sad thing. But I never give up. And for around 5 months that I didn't have a job. My mother kept borrowing money there to send me here in Thailand so that I have something to buy. And I even skipped 2 meals in a day just to budget my money. I live in the church. It was the Thai people who have helped me, the Seventh-day Adventist Thai people. But Filipinos, those Filipinos that I met back in April 2011, nobody. And some of them right now are in trouble as well. And I said, now we're break even because I'm also suffering depression right now. And many of them are also struggling with different problems. And now we are all equals. And you know what? I was... that depression and pains and disappointments and those heartaches that I have are mixing all together, all together. And I told my big brother, "Kuya, can I go there in your place in Bangkan, Akong Tamaran?" He said, "Okay, come over here. They're mistreating you there. You can come here." I regret that I did not bring you here during the time last month that I came here. And then once I was there, I played basketball with somebody, and as we have talked different things after the game in Bangkan, Tongsong, Nakhon Sri Thammarat, in the south of Thailand. He was telling me that he's a director of an agency, and that was a good thing that there was a vacant school and he recommended me as a teacher because he was an agency. So meaning I will get my salary from him, not from the school. And my first school was in Surasak, Witayakom School in Surasak Municipality near Sriracha, Chonburi. And that was last month of August. So by whole September I worked there, and I met with different Filipinos from different parts of the country, Philippines, and they have come together in a church. So because I'm a Seventh-day Adventist and a pastor, a graduate in theology, so I have to find a church. So there I met my future wife, and the Filipinos there are quite good and very accommodating, polite, kind, and generous. And they're really treating people equally, and yeah, there's no showing of arrogance there. So I was happy. I said, "Oh, this is a good place." And then by October, after a month, the director of the agency is somewhat cruel, like, "Oh, you will not get any salary." I said, "How could I get to school working, because they asked me to report again and I will not get any salary from you?" So because the school is not giving salary, not paying me, so you cannot go there. But the director have told me to come. And with that discussion, I told my big brother, I'm struggling here. I don't know what to do. And he said, "Come, you can work here in Banasan. We have an English program here, and I'm already working." He was a Bible worker and at the same time working in the school, because working as a Bible missionary, the first goal that I want to work in the first place when I came here, you only have 5,000 baht stipend. It's a small one, more than $100. You depend on the brethren for the food and everything. But I can work with that. It's okay for me because that was my first goal. But then, that was October, I didn't have a job. And by November, I work in the Tisaban, Banasan, Surat Thani, in the south of Thailand again, but closer a little bit than Nakhon Si Thammarat from Bangkok. It's around 800, 900 kilometers, because Nakhon Si Thammarat is a little bit farther. It's near Songkhla, Malaysia. And with that, I worked there 1 month. The school is very accommodating. And suddenly the university that I applied back in May, when I was still here in Canterbury, because that was June that I followed my big brother, have called me that there is a vacant available position, and they're considering me to work with the university. It's a university. So I told my big brother, and two of us decided that we will stop there in Banasan, and then we transferred to the university. We work there. And from there, I work as an instructor, lecturer. And then I have some disappointments with Canterbury Church. So I chose to travel far, around 200 kilometers, just to spend my Sabbath worship every Saturday in Sriracha from 2012. And then there are networking again that comes out, and I registered myself again. And the fortunate thing, I did not deceive anyone, because it was me alone who invested, but I did not recruit, because I have some kind of respect to somebody who recruited me, so I cannot say no. And by 2012, I started searching how to make monies online. So I come across with pay-to-click sites, OnBucks, ProBucks, NeoBucks. NeoBucks still stands until today. ClickShins, ClickShare, ClickPlanet, fuse box, but those are scams. Pro box, those are scams. I invested like around 200, no, not 200, like around 600, $800. And in return, I already make around $9,000, $8,000. But I tried to keep my money inside the account and I did not withdraw. The time that the company decided to close it down, I was not able to get any penny, any dime. I was not able to get any dime. Back then, just been paid, revenue sharing, Rolly Obidencio, of course, one of my subscriber in this channel, Paring Glenn Angus. He's a good guy. He was involved as well with the just been paid, and I think altogether all of us were scammed that one. And by 2013, I entered binary options, binary trading. I lost around $4,000 to $5,000 in a conservative calculations. $4,000 to $5,000. And with paid to click sites, I was still working in the university. Sometimes I really make good money in the university. We have some extra classes outside the community. With teachers, police officers, custom officers, in the agriculture areas. We have a lot of extra classes outside, and it's a contract, so I make some good money there back then. But I keep losing money. So I've got my wedding with my wife October 2013, and then I kept doing until 2014. I trade in binary options. binary, I lost around $300 there, but IQoption.com, I've lost around more than $4,000 in that binary option platform. IRX, I don't know if it still exists until now. And then by 2015, I decided that I'm going to study Forex trading. And I study Forex trading. I attended seminars in Bangkok. And by April 2015, I started investing with XM Broker. Actually, I have 4 brokers that I have invested, but if XTM, I only lost around $100 there. More than that, a little bit. If BS, around $50. Tickmill, around $200, or maybe above that amount, but not that much. But at XM, from 2015 down to May 2021, this month, a conservative calculation, I have lost in accumulations from April 2015 down to May 2021. It's a matter of 6 years, I guess. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, 6 years. Around 15 to 20K. 15 to 15 grand to 20 grand. $15,000 to $20,000. That's my conservative calculation. That's an accumulation, not a one-time deposit. But tell you what, by 2016, January 9, my family and I, we've got a major car accident. But the good thing was, we did not die. We survived. Nothing was hurt, but the car was totaled. And later that year, 2016, I was kicked out from the job as a lecturer, as an instructor in the university. I lost my job by December 2016. Why? Because part of the reason is that I was active as a president of the ATPAC religious organization that is under the umbrella of the Seventh-day Adventists, being channeled in the publishing department. The director of the publishing department back then was my godfather in the wedding, Pastor Dimitrio Tautau. I was so active because he was so good to me back then in 2011 that I have applied work in Bangkok. He accompanied me. I don't know about Bangkok stuffs. So he was the one catering me everything, and I respect that one. I want to pay it back. So I have to help his department. I never after of a position that I will take his place when he will be going back to Philippines a few years after, because right now he is in the Philippines right now, still in the publishing ministries. But I was not aftering about any kind of reward. I just want to pay him back. But during the time that we have this car accident along the road, I have a meeting with him and the rest of the officers to discuss with the coming student program, because we're helping the Chiang Mai Academy students, the less fortunate. Actually, some of them are well to do, but because they're in the summer program, so all of these guys will be helped equally in their summer program, in their literature venture of selling books to the Thai locals. So we're going to send them to different locations where they can go, and even accompany them in their visiting house to house and office to office, and introducing the literature, the religious books. And it's not really that easy here in Thailand compared to other Christian countries, because this is a Buddhist country. So I was so active as a president helping these kids, and I was not able to balance my time with my classes in the university. I made a lot of absences, like 2 weeks straight of not attending my class. I only asked the students to send their project and their exams in an online, or prepare all the tasks that I have told you, and then when I come around to the university, and then submit it to me. Because working in the university, it's a lot easier, but I was abusing my privilege. And that was the reason that the university have to find a way that they can keep me out from the job. And they were successful in doing that, in such a way that they have this so-called interview of the employee. It could not be, right? I've been working in the university for 5 solid years already, and why I am going to be interviewed again? So that was the case. So that is the only way that they can have an option that they can fire me out from the job, because working in the university is a stable one. You should not think of any other career, because once you're in the university, you could hardly be kicked out, because their system, their policies is quite different. But because they don't like me anymore as I commit a lot of absences, they don't care about the students' evaluation. I have a flat evaluation from the students' feedback, and those colleagues that I have, the senior citizen ones, but as they started to get retired, and the new young individuals are coming in that I don't know, and I was not able to make relationship with these guys. So they're in one brain, they're in one decision to kick me out. So that was the situation. So I was devastated. I lost my job. The first time that we have a major accident, January 9, 2016, I talked to Nino Tao Tao, and he disappointed me. Instead of sending us back home in Canterbury, he escaped his responsibility. He wake up early in the morning, and then they travel back to Bangkok early. It's supposed to be, he has to comfort me. I don't need money at the time. We have money. I work in the university. My wife is also working in Chunbury at that time. And I think my wife has started already in Rampai Pani University as well in Canterbury. we have good salaries that time. Financially, we're not really troubled. That's why I volunteered myself to be the president and help the students. But have disappointed me. And later that year, to December 2016, I told him, I was kicked out from the job. He could not say a word. I need comforting words from him, that I'll be encouraged, that despite of the situation, I can still walk again and stand again and continue to move on and be strong. You know what? My depressions from my high school years to college until I graduate with Raul and Joy when I was in Davao, and when I was in Canterbury back in 2011 with the fucking Filipino, Adventist Filipino guys there. And until that moment when disappointed me, all these sets of depressions sink in, and I said, Lord, have mercy. Just imagine that. Before I lost my job in December 2016, I knew that they're going to kick me out because I was interviewed last September, 2 months ago. And then that was December. I tried to apply to another university here in Burapa, near in my residence now. And I was interviewed and I was told that, okay, you can start working in the university. But after a month, I was called and informed that they're going to reject my application and I can no longer work with them. I said, oh, they have promised me that this month will be the time that I'm going to sign a contract, and why they back out, only to find it out the dean of that Western department in that university, Burapa University, was also a friend of the current president of the university where I was from. So I have no choice. And just imagine that one, YouTube friends, dear fellow traders, I have to run it short from January 2017 down to this month. I kept trying to find a school, applying to elementary school, to high school, secondary school. And you know what? When you have your resume that your previous employment was from the university, and they will see your resume. Oh, you're from the university? With a puzzled look at you, as if like, what kind of crime you committed in the university, why you are kicked out there? Because Thai locals have understood that when you work in the university, you have a stable job. And why apply here in our small school, in elementary or high school, the fact that you have a good life in the university? That was hard. That was really difficult. And back in the university, I worked there for 5 years, but my housing allowance of 8,000 was not given to me. But the last month of my employment there, that was December 2016, I was asked to sign a kind of contract that I was paid by my housing allowance of 8,000. How could I say no? I even went to the Ministry of Labor because I have a big brother there as well, the one who is in charge of providing a signature to any work permits of the expats here in Canterbury. But now he was transferred in Bangkok. And I said, Lord, what I'm going to do now? What I'm going to do now? For 4 years and 4 months, I've been applying work. I could not find any. And I keep losing money in my forex trading. And just this month, there's a school that hired me. And I just signed a contract yesterday with my wife. My wife accompanied me there. We signed a contract and everything, and it will be finished by Monday with a salary of around $450 a month. That is around half of the salary that my wife is getting in the university. We have helped millennial graduates from the college that I was from, and now they're working with my wife. They have a salary of more than $900 a month. But these guys doesn't have anything in their heads. And I've been here for 10 years. I have an experience in the university, but the university cannot accept me now because I don't have master's degree. And this school that I have applied and they responded and they hired me, they will only give me an 11-month salary. It's not 12-month salary, it's 11-month salary contract of $450 a month with 18 hours teaching loads and other extracurricular activities I do not know. It is really depressing. You know what? I don't want to blame God, but tell you what, YouTube friends, dear fellow traders, I'm asking, where was God all these years when I didn't have a job? During the time that I lost my job right there, December 2016, until now, we have this pandemic. 4 years and 4 months officially that I didn't have a job. I stayed at home, but I never stayed, just sit down. But I went to different schools and I tried to apply for work. And after 4 years and 4 months of not finding a work, now I got a work, but not a 12-month salary, but just 11 months. And a $450 salary a month. While the newcomers who have nothing in their heads and they get a salary of more than $900 a month. That's devastating. And you know what? My first contract in that school, if I can make it, if my depression will not succor me and I can survive this depression that I have right now, my first year contract, that is 11-month salary, but it's only 10-month salary because this month of May, maybe I will only get half. I will start reporting by Monday, May 10. This probably these 11 month salary will go to our debts because we have a lot of debts to pay. And my wife is suffering physically because she has a myomatosis. And that was another struggle for me. That is another struggle for the whole family. And the rest of the depressions that I have back in Philippines during the time that I arrived here in Thailand, in Canterbury. And then when I was active in ADPAC and I lost my job, and within these 4 years and 4 months that I didn't have a job, and I struggled, and I've been through hell with all these situations and experiences that I have. As you listen to this video, you might be saying, that's easy, Filma. It's not hard. Don't tell me that unless you are on my shoes. We have different experiences, we have different disappointments. But my disappointment and the depression started and triggered when I was in my final semester in the college. And I thought that I was already buried all these depressions behind. But actually, I really don't. And they sum up everything right now, plus to this struggles that I have this recent times. You know what? I decided to commit suicide many times. But my wife kept crying, and my wife hide all our knives and all our sharp objects here all around the house, the outside and the inside. She hide everything because even the belts, my wife hide everything, even the belt, because I want to commit I want to commit suicide. I want to take my life out of this world. You know what? Committing suicide, it's a selfish way of providing solution to your problem, because the one who will be struggling are those family members, your loved ones who are alive. I have a wife, I have my mother in Bangkok, I have my wife here, we have a family dog. For more than 7 years of marriage, we didn't have a child yet. That's another depression as well. That's because my wife has a problem, and we're hoping that this is gonna be solved. And probably mine, I have some problem as well, because I only have a few hours sleeping every night. So it can also damage my health. You know what? I'm going crazy. I have this insanity, psychological disorder, mental disorder, that I cannot balance things anymore. If I can survive to this struggle, YouTube friends, dear fellow traders, it will come out as a beautiful story. You know why? The time that I'm filming this right now, I have 7 subscribers in this YouTube channel. My wife is one of those 7, and the other 2 subscribers, I treated them as my real friends. I don't know if Paringlin Angus and PD Ruin Lagitao treated me as their real friends, but I treated them as my real friends. Though we don't talk too much, we don't see each other too much, only quite at times, a few times, in some religious gathering, on the phone, in the chat. But I treated them as my real friends. They're real people. And the other 4 subscribers, thank you for coming by in this YouTube channel, but I don't know any of you, the other 4, but thank you that you will stay, and I hope that you will stay. And if I can survive and come out alive to this depression that I have right now, it will be a beautiful story. But if I can come out defeated, if I cannot overcome, if I cannot handle this properly, the depression that I have right now, and anytime I can commit suicide, then this video will be the last video that you're going to watch. But if I can survive this depression, this challenging times, then I can probably add more videos in this YouTube channel. So that is the sign that I'm still surviving. But the moment that I stop uploading videos, then expect that I am no longer existing. I'm so discouraged. Now, a lot of Filipinos who are Seventh-day Adventists, Christians, and even other nationalities who are Seventh-day Adventists might disagree with me. But because of the sufferings that never stops, since from my high school, college, I cannot get over all these things. I don't know how to move on and forget everything. Because if I forget, then I have to include God. Forgetting God. Stop believing Him. Because my question is simply this. Where was he all these years? Was he sleeping, having a vacation? Why nobody hears my prayer? While others are claiming that they're, they're, they've been heard by God, their prayers have been heard. But me, I don't see a thing. I don't see a thing that I was heard. The people I met, only a few that I can appreciate that they are really good people. I don't know why life goes like this. Tell you what, if I can survive with this depression, then my plan is this. My first year contract in that school that I'm working now. But you know what? I lost the appetite of working. Just imagine that. You've been working in the university before. You've been working hard, helping people, being generous, being kind to other people. You let other people first. You serve them first, and you serve yourself last. That is the kind of person that I am. I serve others first, and I serve myself last. And this is the outcome that I got right now. Suffering, depressed, frustrated, and nobody can help. My wife was thinking that she's going to bring me in a psychiatrist, but I could not trust the doctors here. Even writing a simple prescription. Just imagine that one when we went to the hospital several times as we have our checkup with my wife's problem. Even writing the exact and the correct age of my wife is not even correct. One time her age was 39, the other time was 40 years old, the other time was 42 years old. But the fact my wife is just 37. Why is it hard to translate and so much more evaluating my capacity, my eligibility, if I am still rational, if I'm still okay as a person, psychologically, mentally, I might go crazy there. So I do not know what to do, but this is the thing that I still have in my mind. I will stop. I will come back to church. Just imagine that one. I'm a theology graduate, and I have this kind of depression and problem right now. It's very challenging. But I said to myself, I come back to church once I hit my first goal, my first target to achieve 1 million US dollars profit in the Forex trading as a retail trader. Forex markets is very liquid and it's very cruel and a punisher to any and to all retail traders. Who are those retail traders? Retail traders are those who are investing money into trading $100,000 below. Most opinions have said that an individual who has an investment of $500,000 is considered as an institutional professional trader. But below than that, it's retail traders. Much more. We have only $100, $50, $20 investment. Retail traders category. And the liquid markets, Forex, is very cruel to retail traders. But that is my aim, to reach my first 1 million US dollars profit in the Forex trading. That is impossible. Not nearly, but it's impossible. Where I should get money, investment. So this is what I'm going to do. By May 2021 right now to March 2022 next year. That is my first contract with the school that I'm working with a $450 salary each month. I'm going to pay that one in all our debts that are afloat right now. And by May 2022, that will be my second year contract of the school as a teacher to March 2023. In the next 2 years following, then I'm going to save up all my salary, 80% of around $350. I'm going to save it, and when it arrives to March 2023, I can save up to $4,200 from $350 a month. And then the other $100 that I'm going to separate that one for another stuff. So this is it. If my wife will not get pregnant this year or next year, then this plan will be pushed through. But if next year or this year my wife get pregnant, then all this plan will be eliminated because we're going to have a baby. Or if I can survive with my depression as well this year, because right now I'm talking to in front of the camera right now. I don't know if I am in my sound mind. It's really hard. Last night and the other days, the other weeks, months, in the previous months, I was challenged and I want to commit suicide. Even in the previous years, I have all these similar thoughts day by day. You have to end your life. You have to end your life. This kind of whispers that I will hear from my ears. And you know what? One of my plan is that I'm going to buy a lottery ticket, because I have searched in Thailand. It's easy to claim. You can buy lottery tickets there in the vendors all around the markets, in 7-Eleven, gasoline stations, everywhere, in Talat. And the first prize will be 6 million baht. And if you buy 2 tickets, you have 12 million baht if you can win the prize, the first prize. If you buy 5 tickets, that's 500 baht. You can win 30 million baht. So I'll take my chance. So these $100 that I'm going to make from my work as a teacher, I separate that $100, that 3,000 baht. There are 2 draws each month, 16 and 1 by the following month, every 16th of the month, and every 1st of the following month. So 2 draws each month. I'll be spending 1,500 baht each draw. And who knows, I might win 12 million baht, 6 million baht, 30 million baht. And a lot of Seventh-day Adventists won't agree with this, because lottery is a gambling. And I laugh at that. Why? Most Seventh-day Adventists, if not all, are quite selective. They really hate somebody who buy lottery ticket because it's gambling. But why in the world a lot of Seventh-day Adventists are joining networking businesses? It's a Ponzi scheme. You force and you push somebody to join. You recruit somebody forcefully, insistently, persistently, all the time, until they give in and sell something, properties, so that they can join in that particular networking business. Do they really make money after they join? No. They have to recruit another one. They have to deceive another one so that they can make money. Just imagine the one. Lotteries, I'm not trying to justify something here, but let us look at these two things. What is the difference to someone who buy a lottery ticket that is legal and that is owned by the state or by the country, in which the prize, the money that is going to be rewarded to those who will win, are from the sales of the ticket itself? While this networking business, MLM, you make money from the new recruits, because the new recruits are going to pay registration fees, and 30% of that will go to commissions, and that 30% will be used to pay the upline who recruited those individuals. The one who is making money is the scumbag up here, the owner and the uplines. They're just playing words. So which is more evil here? While the state lottery, around 30 to 40% of that sales will go to charities, to schools, to hospitals. You're helping a lot in here if you don't win. But in the Ponzi scheme, you're helping the pockets of the owner of the company and those fraudsters, those uplines who are forcing somebody, deceiving in many individuals to join in. Much more with Kappa. I'm sorry to those who are members of Kappa. But where is he now? Kappa, Almamico, Raijin, and all these high yield investment programs. Hype. We called that one hype back in 2012, 2011. High yield investment programs. High yield meaning you will get a high percentage of your investment in a matter of 12 days, 15 days, 20 days, 5 days, 1 month, 20, 30, 40, 100% of your investment. Too good to be true. It's a scam. Now, let's go back here. Because lotteries existed several decades or even centuries ago. Now, Seventh-day Adventists look at that as a gambling. But if you look at this Ponzi scheme, Charles Ponzi was the one who started that it becomes popular, and people are investing, and the owner is just making a lot of money, but nobody goes to the charities, to schools, to hospitals. At least in the lottery, if you don't win, then you're giving that money to charities. Of course, other percentage for the vendors and for those who printed the tickets, because it's a business. But at least it's legal. What about the Ponzi scheme? There's no legality here. And the one who makes money are the owner. And I cannot understand why most of the Seventh-day Adventists put so much weight to the lottery as the most evil, and Ponzi scheme is the lighter one. For me, there's no difference. At least lotteries, some of the percentage can really go through charities and foundations and hospitals and schools. But Ponzi scheme, no. And yeah, you might be, I think, Paring Glenn Angos, I'm very sorry, but this is the kind of chance that I'm going to take. I have no other. If my wife will not get pregnant this year and next year, then I can have the savings of $4,200 that I can save each month after month. If my wife get pregnant, this plan will not be realized. But From now on, I'll be buying lottery tickets here in Thailand. If I can win 6 million baht or 12 million baht, or in the best scenario, I'll win 30 million baht, then that will be a good amount to invest in forex trading or in stocks trading. That is close to possibility that I can really hit my target of 1 million US dollars profit in my trading. It could be stocks or in forex trading, I do not know yet. But it's another struggle because I'm still suffering this depression that I have right now. These plans will come out good if these are all be realized. And if I can survive with this depression that I have right now, then the story that I have that you have heard right now, May 7, and now I think it's 12 midnight, so it's May 8, 2021, will be a beautiful story in the next 10 years if I come out alive, if I come out winner, overcomer over my depression. But if I cannot survive this challenging times that I have right now, then this will be a goodbye video to all of you. This will be a goodbye video to all of you. But the only thing that encouraged me to continue to live on is that how could be the look and the situation and the condition of my wife right here with me, our family dog, and my mother in Bangkok. These two precious women in my life, my mother in Bangkok and my wife here with me, how could they live the truth if somehow, any day, any time, I commit my life and I commit suicide? It will be a devastating thing to them. It will be hard. So, paring Glenhouse, PD Ruin, Dagitaw. These are my real friends here and my 2 subscribers and the other 4 subscribers that I do not know. I'd like to ask your help. If you still believe in God, you can pray. Personally pray for me, that I'll be able to overcome and handle this in a balance properly about the depression that I have right now. Please do so. And if I come out alive, if I come out survive and kicking, then I can continue to upload videos, and it's a sign that I'm surviving. And I consider that you subscribers right now, my 7 subscribers including my wife, are trusting God, and your prayers probably heard by God if I survive. If I don't, then I'm sorry. It will be an ugly story, but if I don't survive, at least this video will be watched to millions of people 10 years, 20 years from now, and this will create an awareness that how depression kills. So it's a kind of awareness that probably I can share with. If I don't come out alive, if I don't be able to balance this struggle, if I don't be able to handle this one in a balance, and if I cannot overcome this depression, then this video that I'm making can be an awareness to everyone who will be watching. That depression is not funny, it's not a joke, it kills. So, show comfort to those who are suffering in your family members and your
circle of friends.